Good morning students. My name is Savanth. Today we are going to see the next part of the story on saying please. It is written by A.G. Gardiner. In the last lecture we have seen how good the conductor was. He was very good. His behavior was good with not only writer but also with everyone. He was a good human being, and a writer wants to suggest us that we have to follow this type of human being. We have to imitate these types of people in our day-to-day life. We have to understand how should we remain happy and how should we make others happy. That is important. Otherwise, we can't live happily. We can't be satisfied about our life. So, we should not spread hatred or anger. Instead of hatred or anger, we should spread goodwill gesture in our community. That is important thing. So, now I read the next paragraph. With old people he was as considerate as a son. With old people, with old men and women, he was behaving like he was their son. And with children as solicitous as a father. And with small children, he was behaving like their own father. He had evidently a peculiarly warm place in his heart for young people. At the same time, in his heart, there was a good feeling for the young people. He was also concerned about the young people. In short, he was always concerned about all people and always indulged in some merry jest with them. He was always busy with the young people. He was laughing with them. He was making jokes. He was talking on various topics with the young people. If he had a blind man on board, it was not enough to set him down safely on the pavement. Someday there was a blind man or handicapped man traveling on his bus. At that time, it was not enough to get him down. It was also important to help him or her to cross the road. That was also important for any handicapped man or blind man. So, he told the bill to take care of the bus or the people in the bus, and then he went out with that handicapped man or woman and or blind man or woman to help them. In this way, he was trying to help everyone. He was always busy in his in this way he was a good human being. In short, I found that he irradiated such an atmosphere of good temper and kindliness that a journey with him was a lesson in natural courtesy and good manners. In this way, to help others, to laugh with them, to talk with them, and he was always using polite language, polite words. He was always using appropriate manners, and in this way he was spreading good human, good temper from himself. He was trying to remain calm, quiet. He was focusing on his work all the time. At the same time, he was trying to help others. And a writer tells us how he was trying to help others in many ways. So, this was an important part of conductor's behavior or his personality. Because of all these things, he was a good human being. Because of all these things, he was a civilized person, civilized human being. What struck me particularly was the ease with which he got through his work. Every day, throughout the day, he was happy. He was concentrating on his work. He was doing his work happily. He was doing his work with full satisfaction, with full dedication. If bad manners are infectious, so also are good manners. If someone can talk with badly, if someone can use bad language, inappropriate words, inappropriate manners, at that time, most of the times, we can reply in the same manners. We can use the same language and we can give reply. But like that, we can say bad manners are infectious. If someone is talking bad, then most of the times we can give reply in the same language. So it is called as bad manners are infectious. But if someone is talking with polite language, someone is using appropriate manners, showing manners, at that time we have to also talk in good language. We have to use appropriate words while talking with the particular person. That means good manners are also infectious. So we have to spread good manners. We should not spread bad manners. Both manners are infectious, good manners and bad manners. But we have to spread good manners. Then other people, they can also change their behavior. They can be infected with the good manners if we spread good manners. So that is the message a writer wants to give us through this lesson. If we encounter incivility, most of us are apt to become uncivil. Writer said, if we come in front of some uncivilized people, or uncivilized person, incivilized person, if they are not civilized, that can be called as incivilized or incivility. So if we come in front of incivilized people, at that time most of the times we try to become uncivil, means not civilized. Means I have told you earlier that we are also trying to talk in the same language. If someone abuses us, if someone abuses me, then I am trying to abuse him or her in the same language or in more harsh or bad language. That is called as uncivilized people, uncivilized community. But it is an unusually uncouth person who can be disagreeable with sunny people. Sunny people means cheerful. Uncouth means impolite, means who is not civilized, who has no good behavior. That means uncouth. Uncouth people can be disagreeable with the cheerful people, cheerful person. It is with manners as with the weather. There is similarity. The same thing is happened with the weather as it is happened to manner. Nothing clears up my spirits like a fine day, said kids, and a cheerful person descends on even the gloomiest of us with something of the benediction of a fine day. And so it was always fine weather on the polite conductor's bus, and his own civility, his conciliatory address and good-humored bearing infected his passengers. In lightening their spirits, he lightened his own task. His gaiety was not a wasteful luxury, but a sound investment. The writer said that if we spread good manners, if we spread goodwill gesture between our community, then the people, the other people who are around us, they can be infected with the same manners. They can be behave politely. So here a writer gives us the example of kids. Nothing clears up my spirits like a fine day. That is the example. Every morning we have to tell ourselves that this is the fine day for me. Every morning we have to tell ourselves. So this is a part of positive thinking. How can we think? Which is the better way for thinking? So positive thinking is better, because other people cannot disturb your day. Other people cannot disturb your mood. If they mock on you, if they gossip about you, you have to ignore them. you have to neglect them. You should not take their gossip, their mock seriously, and in this way you can go forward. And that's why a writer gives us the example of kids. Nothing clears up my spirits like a fine day. Another is, cheerful person descends on even the gloomiest of us with something of the benediction of a fine day. Sometimes the cheerful person, the happy person, he is cheerful, he or she is cheerful, but for some reasons the person is unhappy, the person is depressed. At that time he would come down and gloomiest of us with something of the benediction of a fine day. He would come down and he would be reliable on someone else. He would be reliable on fine day. He would be searching a fine day. And so it was always fine weather on the polite conductor's bus. So writer said, other people cannot create fine weather or a fine day. If we want to live a happy life, if we want to remain happy, then we have to create, we must create a fine day for ourselves. We have to create a fine weather around us. There are so many types of people around us, and they are always watching us. They are always trying to look, most of the people trying to look bad things in our personality, in our nature, in our life. They are always trying to focus on our weaknesses. But then also we have to remain quiet, we have to remain calm, and we should be focused on the goal, our goal. What is our goal? We should be more focused about it, and we should ignore all other things. At the same time, when someone is coming to talk with us, we have to talk politely. We should use good language, good words. We should be humble with them. So in this way, we have to fight on both sides. We have to fight for our goal. How can we reach the goal? For that we have to fight. And at the other hand, we have to remain happy. We have to remain silent. Silent means not we have some kind of fear. Silent means we would be happy by heart. We would be remain quiet and fully satisfied. That is important. So the conductor was doing his work simultaneously. He was spreading the happiness. There are also, maybe there are also some people who can mock him, who can gossip about him, but he was not looking at them. He was not paying attention to those types of people. but she was always talking good, who was coming in front of him. She was always taking care of the people, of the person who was coming in front of him or who was approaching him. So while working, she was spreading good manners. She was inspiring other people. She was motivating other people to behave politely. Polite behavior is the good behavior. Humbleness is the most important thing. So she was not talking about all these things. She was just showing through his body language. She was showing through his talk, through his manners. And at that time, a writer was realized that these all things are very important. These all things were so much important about any human being. I have missed him from my bus route of late, but I hope that only means that he has carried his sunshine onto another road. A writer missed him because might be his route was changed. The bus conductor's route was changed. But then also, a writer was not unhappy. A writer said he was hoping that he was spreading goodness, he was spreading happiness on some other route. It cannot be too widely diffusing in a rather drab world. The conductor was trying to spread happiness in a dull world, dull community, dull people. And I make no apologies for writing a panegyric on an unknown bus conductor. For a writer, the conductor was unknown. But a writer was realized his goodness. A writer was realized how polite he was. A writer was realized his good behavior. A writer was realized that he was truly humble. A writer was realized that he was truly dedicated, focused about his work. So, in short, a writer was realized that he was a good human being. He was a good person. And that's why the writer said he was writing a speech or an article. This article he was writing for an unknown person. But he was not regretted about it. If Wordsworth could gather lessons of wisdom from the poor leech gatherer on the lonely moor, the well-known poet William Wordsworth, he was taking lessons of wisdom from the poor leech gatherer. So why not? We should take lessons from conductor or from any other person. I see no reason why lesser people should not take lessons in conduct from one who shows how a very modest calling may be dignified by good temper and kindly feelings. Writer said, why should not lesser people, lesser than Wordsworth or common people, why should not they were not taking a lesson from conductor or any other person who was showing good behavior, who was showing manners, how to use it. It is a matter of general agreement that the war has had a chilling effect upon those little everyday civilities of behavior that sweeten the general air. It is a matter of agreement, means the war has had a chilling effect, means every day when we left our home, at that time we have to went out of the home like we were going on a war, because throughout the day, from morning to till evening, we were faced by so many people. We were talked with so many people. Some were good, some were bad, some were abusive, some were kind. So it was like a war we were faced. So on that day or every day, how could we spread good humor? How could we show good nature? That is important. If we show good nature, good behavior, then we could be called as a civilized person. We could sweeten the air around us. In short, we can spread good humor, good gesture around us in other people, in the life of other people. So in this way we can infect other people by our own behavior. We must get those civilities back if we are to make life kindly and tolerable for each other. If we want to learn in a good society, in a good community, then we have to concern with our own behavior, with our own language. We have to get back those manners, words, so we can be good with each other. That is important. We cannot get them back by invoking the law. We can't get back those manners while showing the fear of law. We can't make force for getting back those manners in our society. The policeman is a necessary symbol and the law is a necessary institution for a society that is still somewhat lower than the angels. The policemen are necessary in our community, in our society, and law is also necessary. Both things are necessary, but somehow they are lower than the angels. They are not like angels. They are also human beings. Policemen and the law means judge and lawyers. But the law can only protect us against material attack. When we are assaulted by physical violence, when we are injured by physical violence, at that time we can make complaint against someone who beat us, who made us hurt physically. And the law or the police, they can take action against that particular person. So this is a attack, or we can say, yes, law can only protect us against material attack. Physical violence means material attack. We can be protected against material attack, physical violence, but we cannot be protected against bad behavior, ill behavior, hatred behavior. For that, we have to change ourselves, and then we can expect that others can follow the same. Others can imitate the same behavior. Nor will the lift man's way of meeting moral affront by physical violence help us to restore the civilities. But, writer said, but like we cannot behave like a liftman. Liftman, he was trying to teach a lesson to the employee with the help of physical violence. If someone is not behaving politely, if someone is not using appropriate manners, we can't force him or her. We can't use abusive language to force him or her. We can't hurt him physically, or we can't hurt him in any other way. In short, for that we have to change ourselves. We have to remain quiet. First of all, we have to change our own behavior. If someone is impolite, at that time we should be more polite. If someone is using abusive language while talking with us, at that time we have to use good language. If someone is not following manners, at that time we have to follow manners. So, in short, we have to give him or her reply in a different language. That is important. Here, language is important. Manners are important. How can we treat them? It is important. If they are treating bad, then also we have to treat them in a good way, in a polite way. That is important. I suggest to him that he would have had a more subtle and effective revenge if he had treated the gentleman who speech with elaborate politeness. A writer suggested to liftman. She would not kick him, the employee. Instead of kicking him out, she would use good language while talking with him. And because of liftman's good language, because of his good behavior, because of his appropriate manners, the employee, he would be ashamed of his own manners. He would be ashamed of his own behavior. And then automatically he would be realizing his own mistake. And then he would say, "Talk please," not just talk. He would have had the victory not only over the boor, but over himself. The liftman, he would have achieved a victory not only over a rude, insensitive person. He was trying to take a revenge on a insensitive person, but in a bad way. His way was bad. At the same time, he would have achieved control over himself. That is important. And that is the victory that counts. So, I can stop here. So, I want to say, if you like my lecture, please like, comment, share and ask your doubts. Thank you for watching.